Hi, this is day 12 of my 31-day challenge, and the question today is, what do you like about your life? Well, I have one. I mean, the past 10 years have been a rough struggle, and the good Lord has seen fit to keep me on this earth. So what do I like about my life? I like the fact that I actually have one. What else do I like? I like the fact that I'm independent. I'm not reliant on anyone or anything to fulfill my life. So I'm not married. I'm a single senior, and I'm okay with that. Of course, there are times when I look for companionship, and I have that. I have friendships that I can fall back on. I even have a few exes that I stay in contact with and have communication with. And so those people know me, and I'm able to have a friendship with people from my past. And so that's a good thing about my life. I like the fact that, I don't got to ask anybody's permission to do anything. No. And I'm very open to listening to other people's point of view. So, if somebody has a problem with me, I'm open to sitting down and discussing it. And there's not anything or anyone that is going to say to me, oh, you can't do that, or that's inappropriate, or you shouldn't say that, or you shouldn't say this. I am totally independent of having anyone in my life tell me what I need to do or what I can do. And that is the most positive thing in my life that, you have no idea. You have no idea. I have been in situations where I wasn't able to open my mouth without being in trouble, in whichever sense, physical or emotional or psychological sense that there is. And so to have this sense of freedom, I can go where I want, do what I want. I feel I would love to live in the country. I'm not able to at this point in time, but where I am right now, it is a city. I don't get to see all the stars that I want to see. However, I have my own place. I have a very beautiful place. I have wonderful neighbors. I still have some nature that I'm able to see where I am. So what do I love about my life? There's so many things. There's so many things. I can walk, I can talk, I can hear, I can see. I'm able to get out and about. I'm able to walk. I'm still able to drive. I just don't have my vehicle. I sold my vehicle 10 years ago. I think it was 10 or 11 years ago I sold it. So, there's a few things I'd like to, fix in my life. Wouldn't we all? Not everybody is living the perfect life. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody has got exactly what they want in their life, but there are things that you can strive for. So what am I happy? What do I like about my life? I like where my apartment is. I face the area where I don't see other buildings. Lately I've been seeing graders and loaders and things like that, trucks, dump trucks. But normally I can look out my patio window and I see nature normally. So that's a plus. That's a plus. Everything is close to me. I'm close to where I need to go. If I need to go to the hospital, if I need to go to the swimming pool, if I need to, everything is close proximity. So if there was a point in time in my life where I wasn't mobile, I would be close to those things. I'm close to a hospital. I'm close to rehabilitation centers. I'm close to art centers, and I'm close to, I can take the ferry. I could take a bus, and I could get anywhere where I need to go in a short span of time. So I'm close to things. I have access to things that I wouldn't have access to if I lived further out in the country. And that's what I'm vying for, is to kind of live further out in the country. But where I am, I have an abundance of needs that are being fulfilled just by the location that I'm in. So that's a good thing. The grocery store is close. If I need to get something, I don't have to plan this big long spiel in order to get there. I just gotta run over to the store. So it's not a bad area where I am. It's getting a little tense in some areas where I am, but I just don't frequent those places. So what else about my life? So there are some things in my life that I have that I feel fulfillment, I feel lucky to have. And a lot of those things, I mean, I pray every day to the good Lord above, and I thank Him for the food in my stomach, the roof over my head, and the ability to sustain myself from day to day and month to month and year to year. There are many people in this world who do not have food. They do not have a roof over their head, and they struggle to make ends meet. So I'm lucky in that way, and in those instances, my life is blessed. In those instances, I'm able to sustain myself, and so that's a good thing. To me, that's a good thing. That's fulfillment in my life. That's helping me to wake up the next morning. I mean, I have a full belly when I go to bed at night. I do intermittent fasting, but I still don't go to bed hungry. And I know there are many people in the world that do. And I pray to the good Lord up above, or whoever your divine may be, that those people find sustenance in their life. What else do I have? I have the ability, if I desperately need to escape the life in the city, I have friends and I have the ability to go to where they're at. So I have friends that own farms. I have friends that live in the country. I have friends that are willing to pick me up, to give me that little bit of a break from the smog and the pollution in the city. And the noise pollution can be bad. The light pollution at nighttime is horrible. I miss so much being able to see the stars. But just recently, I took myself on a little bit of a vacation thanks to a very dear friend of mine who had property in the country. I was able to get my hands into the soil and to fulfill that need that I had to ground with the earth. So I planted my green pepper plants. I planted them, and I get, every day I get a picture or I get news of how they're doing, and they are blooming and they are just thriving. So it's a wonderful feeling. It's a wonderful feeling. So I was able to ground, I was able to plant, I was able to enjoy the stars, to see the stars. I had wonderful company and wonderful conversations. So that part of my life, it's well taken care of. It's well taken care of. There are many things in my life that I can be thankful for, and they're simple things. Being able to access the internet, being able to access even YouTube, put this video out to you, to talk to you, to have that sense of sharing with other people my journey. I'm lucky to have that. A lot of people don't. I remember back the day when I couldn't even afford a television. Yeah. I had a small, I don't even think it was a 12-inch. It was a tiny, tiny little TV. And I got it from a group of people that I belonged to. I used to frequent a center down here, and they actually gave me a tiny little television. And I'll tell you, it was amazing. It was amazing. So even the ability to have a television, the ability to have furniture. I mean, there was a period of time when I lived in my car. I worked, I always had a job, but I had to live in my car because I couldn't afford the rents. So having an apartment, a roof over my head, okay, a table. The table that I have, I got it from a friend who was leaving and going to a long-term care wing. I mean, we're all getting up there in age, and this person didn't have use for this massive table, so I got it. And it is absolutely beautiful. It is a cherry wood. It had a sunspot on the top of it, but I researched it and I was able to get that sunspot out, and it looks like brand new. So, and it's secondhand. It might even be third hand, but it was given to me from someone who knew that I needed one. So I have good friends in my life. The friends that I do have might be few, but they are strong. And I have strong links to support agencies that I may have to utilize in the future. There are some support links that I have that I'm going to get involved in and help them in their endeavor to help other people. So I'm going to start to get involved in my community. So having those connections is also another thing that I value in my life. So there's many things. There's many things about my life that I appreciate. And I realize that, and I've been there where I haven't had these things. Like I said, I haven't had a TV. I didn't have a home. I didn't even have a bed at one time. I was struggling, and I was struggling really, really hard. And, you know, that's when you see the strength that you have. But there is also the friendship that you gain from other people who see your struggle and who want to help you. I remember living in my car one time. I had an apartment. I paid for that apartment, but I had to travel for work. So I had to basically stay in my car. And I remember I was down at the water and I was getting ready for a job that I was doing. And I was combing my hair and brushing my teeth the whole bit from my car. And there was a fellow walking his dog, and he came down by the water and he said, "Didn't I see you here last night?" He says, "Did you stay here overnight?" I said, "Yeah, I did." And he was very shocked. And he says, "Why?" And I said, well, I told him the circumstance. I live in a different area, and my job is here, and it's a good job, a lucrative job, so I don't want to give it up because I do have to support 3 children. And so I told him my story, and from that moment on, I no longer slept in my car. He had a beautiful home, and he was willing to share it with me. Of course, I was respectful, and don't worry, I checked him out. He was very, very valid in his manner and his life. He was not someone that I couldn't trust. I trusted him immensely, and still to this day, he would be the first one that I would trust. Trust me. It's just, he just had that type of personality. He was very caring, very giving, and you know, a lot of people, when they're caring and giving, they get used, and I chose never to look at this individual like that as a ticket. It wasn't a ticket to me. He helped me out in a time in my life when I desperately needed it. So I was able to continue with my job. So right now in my life, having a home to call mine, whether it be mine or whether it just be a rental, the fact is I have it. I have a roof over my head. I have food in my belly. I have friends. I have connections. I have a base, a home base. A lot of people don't. We have young people nowadays who work hard, desperately hard, just to pay the bills, and they can't even afford to buy a plot of land. Yeah, it's sad. It's really sad. It is sad, and you know, I get so shocked when I see her. I can't even watch the news anymore. When I watch the news and I hear about, and I'm a very giving person. I really, truthfully am. I won't see anybody go hungry or, you know, have issues if I can help them, okay? If I can, I will help. However, when I watch the news and I see the salaries that are being voted in while the people are struggling, I do not believe that a yearly raise should be given to, I don't care who it is. Like, I'm not politically incorrect or correct or even into it. I can't stand politics. But when you're voting in a large pay raise for yourself, and there's people in your community, in your country, who are starving, who are living on the streets in tents, who don't have money for food, and you're getting a large raise in your salary, I think that any raises in parliamentary circumstances should be quashed. Should be quashed. No pay raises every year or every, 6 months they get it? I don't even know. But they're massive pay raises. And they're on salary. So they know they're gonna have a paycheck coming in from month to month. Most of the people that I know, young people, the people who are going to be taking care of us and wiping our butts when we're like 90, 100 years old, if we make it that far, those people get nothing. Nothing. They struggle, they starve, they do without. There's kids going to school that can't afford to feed themselves. Like, what in the hell? Like, back in the day, I don't know if it was a thing, but I really don't think that politicians should be voting in raises when their people are struggling. Because you know what? It's our freaking taxes that pay their wages. So, what? Anyway, we won't get into it because I'm not politically inclined. Yeah. I get absolutely no respect for anyone who pads their pocket or watches someone go hungry. Anyway, what am I happy about in my life? I'm happy that I'm thriving. I'm thriving in my health. I'm thriving in my life. I'm alive. So what do I value? What do I think is amazing about my life? Well, that's simple. I have one. I have one. And I'm able to have a roof over my head, food in my belly, and sustain myself from month to month and year to year. And I wish that for everyone. I'll see you on the next video. The good Lord be willing.